What do you want to achieve next season? Well, we're going through every Premier League club and picking what they should be going for over the next coming year. How you feeling, Thogden?
Hey, I'm feeling great. My ambition is to drink more beer next season. Your ambition is 1 million subscribers. Come on.
That's a nice segue. I want to hit 1 mil, and we can't do it without you guys supporting us. Please click that big red button. Don't be a mug. When we hit 1 mil, I'm buying everybody a Mars bar. Right, Arsenal, talk to me. What should they achieve next season?
Well, last season they were 5th, Theo. They've got to go out and win the UEFA Europa League, and they've got to qualify one way or the other for the Champions League. Now, to do that, strengthen them at the back, Theo. Strengthen in the middle. They're a little bit lightweight at times.
Can the new number 9, Gabriel Jesus, bring a European trophy to North London?
Wow, is he 100%, Theo?
100%. They've taken photos. When this video comes out, it will probably be official. But my achievements are 2 things. Top 4.
Yeah.
It's getting harder. Chelsea are looking at Raheem Sterling. They're trying to get Rafinha, late bid for a Richarlison. Ted Bolley's trying to buy up everybody. Tottenham have strengthened like nothing else. Getting 4th and 3rd is actually a big ask for Arsenal, and if they can do it with the players they've got, it's a massive bit of ambition.
Aston Villa were 14th last season. Now this season, avoid any relegation dogfight. Don't go anywhere near the lower places. You've got to aim for upper mid-table. You've got to be in that sort of 8th to 12th kind of zone. Now, Diego Carlos, what a buy, Theo, at centre-back.
I disagree, Thogden. I think they're going down. No, I'm joking. Villa will not even be talking about relegation. The way that team is going, the investment they've made, yes, they finished 14th last season, but they're going to kick on. I guarantee you. Kamara, Diego Carlos, signing Coutinho on a permanent, maybe more to come. Buendia going to actually play some game time. Villa are on the up, and I think their aims this season should be qualifying for the Conference League, a bit of European footy, and maybe a cup run.
Is that realistic, Theo? I don't see them anywhere near 7th.
I see them maybe getting 7th. They can qualify if they win like a certain cup. I said cup run as well. Just something for the Villa fans to latch onto, a bit of enjoyment. They've got the quality there. If Gerrard wants to prove himself to Liverpool, he has to win things in the short term.
Bournemouth, newly promoted. I don't have much to say because it's all about survival. Now, they've not done a lot of business yet, have they, Theo?
No.
A couple of free transfers, but you've got to spend money.
That's my first bit of ambition for them. Sign some Premier League talent. Yes, you've got players that have done well in the Championship. You held off the automatic spot. Scott Parker has never done well in the Premier League as a manager. Sign some Premier League talent, and number 2, survive. That's their ambition, nothing else.
Brentford were 13th last season, but do not get complacent. Look what happened to Leeds in their 2nd season. They struggled. So again, it's survival, Theo. I hate to say that.
Really?
Brentford made themselves a difficult team to beat in the latter part of the season when they had Christian Eriksen.
I'm going to be real. You were very supportive of them not going down last season.
Yes, I got that right.
They came into this year and they smashed it. Nearing the mid-table rather than a relegation battle, they were unreal. But they don't have Eriksen. So my ambition for them is keep key members in the squad. I'm talking Ivan Toney, Christian Eriksen. They're the 2 main names. You keep them around the squad, you will finish around mid-table again. You lose them and you're falling into a relegation dogfight. But I also say the bit of ambition for the Bees remain mid-table.
Brighton and Hove Albion were 9th last season, but they didn't score a lot of goals. So the first ambition, score more goals, Theo. And they've got to be pushing for a European place. That's going to be really hard because Yves Bissouma has gone, hasn't he?
What they need to achieve next season is, because they've lost those big players, focus on fitting the new members of the squad into the team. Don't rush them, and if they drop a howler, kick them out the team and never see of them again. If Enciso is a howler, fair enough. He's going to have to gel into the team. Caicedo, however you pronounce his name, he's hoped to be the next big thing in South America, of Ecuador, right? He needs to be the Basuma replacement. Give them time. Dennis Undav, it's not going to work automatically, but it could gel. I know Graham Potter got a great manager, and the next bit of ambition, score more goals. Dennis Undav, that's your job, mate.
Chelsea, you were 3rd last season, but there's one very big change, and this is the ownership situation. Roman Abramovich has gone, and you've got new owners. Now, that could create problems, Theo. So the first thing I'd say, it's like a business thing. A successful transition from one ownership group to another.
Yeah, but it's not just the ownership, it's the staff.
Marina's gone, yes.
Yeah, Marina, and she was very crucial into a lot of big money moves. Now it's Ted Bolley, who's also the owner.
Yeah.
He plays 2 roles, a little bit, weird. They seem a bit all over the place, bidding last minute to try and hijack the Richarlison deal when they're already about to get Rafinha and bidding for Sterling. It's like they're trying to do too much. So I'm putting it down to the basics. Chelsea, focus on remaining in the top 4 because it's getting more competitive and win a cup. I'm not
Yeah.
going to go there and say you're winning another Champions League. From the stage you were in then, I don't think it's going to happen. However, winning an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup and remaining in the Champions League qualification will be keeping you in a good position next season.
Rudiger's gone, Christensen's gone.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a rebuild there.
There is. So let's see if it can work out for Tuchel. Lots of change, but who says it's going to go down? I'm not too sure.
Crystal Palace, you were 12th last season, and all I can say is more of the same, Theo.
Really?
Great manager, great young players coming through like Michael Olise, Eberechi Eze, alongside the greats like Zaha. Really strong defensively. Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. And to add to that, Dad, I wrote down FA Cup run. Last year they got to the semi-final. They had a cup run. Vieira's already achieving everything I put down for next season. They've just got to keep playing the youth, which was my next point. Their academy is on the up. They're investing more than other clubs. I think they're going to have a lot of players that are coming and breaking through who are going to actually go for the first team. And under Patrick Vieira, I hope he gives them a chance. So Palace, you're on the up.
And also try and catch up to Brighton and Hove Albion. It's the M23 rivalry. 3 points in it. I think those teams could be very close.
And ambition could be finishing above Brighton. That would be a good
That's right. Everton was 16th last season, but surprisingly, my first comment is Bramley Moor Dock, Theo. It's their new stadium, 53,000 capacity. They should be moving in 2, 3, 4 years. Get it done. And on the pitch, do not flirt with relegation. Do not lose 21 games, because Everton Football Club should not be in 16th place, should not be in a relegation dogfight. So get off to a good start to the season.
They've just lost Richarlison to Tottenham, so how they reinvest that, they've got to be careful. And I'll point this from a Bolton fan. We are a big club who got relegated down to League One, and the reason we stayed low for a few seasons is because of the parachute payments, and we spent too much in the Premier League, and that hit us. We're in the Championship, League One. I don't want Everton to overspend now, get relegated, and can't get back up because of financial fair play.
Yes.
You don't want to follow the same pattern of what we did. You know, going from JJ Kocher and all these, you know, signing Hierro from Real Madrid, like Ivan Camp. Anyway, you get the point. Second bit of ambition. Secure the new ownership. You need some more cash in there. You've got a stadium that needs to be built, a whole new team to address if you want to stay in this league. There's a lot that's changing at the Toffees, and they need to get it done.
Fulham were promoted as champions of the Championship, but again, Theo, I've got to say it's all about survival. This time round, don't be a yo-yo club. Invest sensibly in players. Invest in a sustainable manner. And Mitrovic, you need to score 12 to 15 goals.
My ambition for Fulham, it's easy to say invest. They got that wrong last time. Invest in the right players, number one, but play towards your player strengths. Last time in the Premier League, Mitrovic was a super sub. The geezer scored for fun in the Championship, and he didn't really get a great opportunity. I forget which manager, I think it's Scott Parker. But Mitrovic scored 43 goals and broke the record last year. I don't care what he's doing, I want to see at least 15 goals in the Premier League. A relegated Norwich, Timu Pukki, could score about 13-14 last year. Why can't Mitro beat that? He's better than him, and he smashes it for Serbia against the biggest teams in the most important games. I want them to play to Mitrovic's strengths. Simple.
Leeds United 17th last season. This is their third season back in the Premier League. And again, I've got to say, survival. I'm going to go behind the scenes there. The 49ers group, I think they own about 44% of the club. They need to become the majority shareholders. When that happens, you have a billionaire owner who can invest heavily in the playing squad, in the training facilities.
Yeah, but you
in
never
Ellen
know.
Road, that has to happen.
American owners don't always put money in. They're looking for a profit.
These are sports guys. I think they know what they're doing.
Glazers are sports guys. They've got the same thing in America.
Yeah, good
Doesn't
point.
mean they're good at managing a football club in the Premier League. Leeds survive. I know we say this about everybody, but my God, when you lose Phillips and Rafinha, it's going to be a tough job. And second of all, reinvest, but don't rush it. Don't do a Chelsea with Kepa, okay? Don't think, oh my God, the season's coming, we've lost Phillips and Rafinha, let's just spend money. Financial fair play, lads. If you get relegated, I'm a Bolton fan, seen it before. Invest in the right players who've proven it in leagues that are competitive to a standpoint of the Premier League.
Well, Theo, they've invested 30 million in Brendan Aronson from RB Salzburg.
That's good.
12 million on Rasmus Christiansen from RB Salzburg, and 11 million on Mark Rocker from Bayern Munich.
Which is
Are
good.
they good signings?
They are, but when you lose Calvin Phillips, a holding midfielder, they haven't replaced that core of that defensive. They need someone in that position. Aaronson's a bit more attacking.
Mark Rocker's a DM, I think. No.
They need to bring in more players without spending too much. Leeds have to play their cards right here.
Leicester City were 8th last season, so all I've got to say is return to European football. You were about to break into the top 6, and then you sort of slid a bit. Now, last season, you had injuries. Your defence was very, very leaky.
Break into the top 6 for me. Leicester City are no longer in Europe and can fully focus on the English Premier League. Break into that top 6. Be the one to smack into that mould, okay? I'm telling you, the Foxes have it in them. Make more of Maddison and Harvey Barnes and focus on defence. Fofana, Vestergaard, Soyuncu, Johnny Evans. There's too many. Stick to 2. And I know you had injury problems last year, but now it's not that issue, okay? Focus on the 2 best and stick with them. And Leicester will be in a much better place under Brendan Rodgers.
Liverpool were runners-up last season, so it's quite simple. This season, you've got to win the Premier League and you've got to win the Champions League. They were 2 games away from an incredible quadruple. But another thing, Theo, you've got to replace, not just this season, but next season, the season after, you've got to replace Mane now, Salah, Firmino, Henderson. There's a few aging players, important players.
Yeah.
And you're bringing in the likes of Darwin Núñez, and they've got to work out.
Who is going to be the replacement for Jurgen Klopp? Will he be there forever? He did say in interviews before that he will hand it over to somebody along the lines of Steven Gerrard in the coming years. And that means their ambitions for the next season is simple. Finish above Manchester City. Win the Champions League. They should have a fire in their belly after filling in the Champions League final and losing to Real Madrid under dodgy circumstances. 1-0, the fan situation, that was all a mess. But at least next year, they've got something to go for. Darwin Núñez adds something, something finally can go on the end of Trent's crosses. Liverpool are up for it. Will they do it? The odds are against them, but you never know.
Manchester City, of course, won the league last season, so once again, win it again and win the Champions League. Prove you're not the bottlers of European football.
Quite frankly, do the quadruple. Really? Win it all, man. Like Haaland and De Bruyne in the same team. De Bruyne is 30 now, so he's not. Whilst he's at his best, and Haaland is flipping ridiculous. They've finally got a striker. That team is the best thing we've ever seen in the Premier League for years now. Okay. You've got to go and win it all. Premier League, Champions League, Cup,
but it
FA
never
Cup,
happens,
Carabao.
Theo. I mean,
yes,
that's,
it never
that's
happens.
Crazy talk.
When they got taken over by those Qataris, they weren't there to piss about. They spent 50 million on all positions. They've now got an incredible squad. And to hear that they're getting like Calvin Phillips, Cucurella potentially, Haaland's already done. Mate, I'm telling you, this is the season they've got to go and aim for everything.
Yeah, and I think with Haaland up front, Theo, and with the transition at Liverpool, you've got to aim to win the league by 5 to 10 points.
Absolutely. And look, who says Grealish won't turn up next season as well? He had an awful year and they still won the Premier League. So come on, Jackie boy, get it together. Haaland, mate, they're going to win a lot.
Manchester United were 6th last season, and these are their ambitions this season. First of all, achieve a positive goal difference.
Yeah.
And secondly, concede less goals than the team who finished 18th. And that just shows how bad last season was. But seriously, the number one ambition, inject a bit of fun and positivity to Manchester United Football Club. For the fans, for the players, for the staff. Because it was miserable last season.
It's that word, positivity, which I've got written down. Look, bring positivity back into the club structure.
Yes.
Focus on having a healthy relationship between the staff, manager, players, owners, fans. It seems impossible, doesn't it, in the current state they're in?
Because it just felt a little bit toxic, didn't it, from everything that we heard. One concrete ambition is qualify for the Champions League. Get into the top 4.
Yeah.
The amount of money you spend on transfers, the wage bill, you should be in the top 4.
Absolutely. It's tough with the current competition, everyone else strengthening like Arsenal and Chelsea and Tottenham. I'm unsure if they're going to do it this year, but with Ten Hag, you've got a project. Manchester United, my second ambition for you is get rid of the Glazers. The owners have to go. You're gonna, when you're the biggest football club in the world, you should have budgets like PSG, Manchester City, your world-class competition. Get to that level and do that by having an owner that's willing to put in cash and spend it to then make it back from being the best and winning trophies.
Newcastle were 11th last season, and what they have to do this season is attract more world-class players, Theo. Sven Botman, centre-back, on his way from Lille, alongside Bruno Guimaraes in the squad. That's the sort of player that you need. Now, it's a project. It's not going to happen overnight.
Great signing that, by the way.
But they've got to be aiming for Europe. 7th place this season.
I wrote that down. Aim for 7th place.
Yes.
That's the spot. That's got Newcastle United written all over it. With the investment that they've done, I believe they can reach it. And second of all, go for the Carabao Cup. Who says they can't win that?
Yeah, you see, there's a pack of teams, isn't there, Theo, which includes West Ham United, Leicester, Wolves, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Brighton and Newcastle, who are all going to be between 7th and 12th, I believe. Go for the 7th place. Very tough.
Get it done. I mean, look, the investment's been brilliant. The fans are really behind them.
Amazing fans.
St James's Park is rocking. So let's see if they can exceed what they've done in the previous years, which they definitely will anyway.
Nottingham Forest promoted through the playoffs, and I think it's time for a trip down Thogden memory lane.
Oh my God, bring back the transition, Joshua.
Because in 1977, Bolton Wanderers were 4th in the old second division. In 3rd place were Nottingham Forest. The next year, season 77 to 78, Nottingham Forest won the 1st division. So what I'm going to say here, bring back the ghost of Brian Clough and win the Premier League.
Wait, what?
They've done it before.
You're telling me
They've done it before.
they're going to do a Leicester City? Or a Nottingham Forest, sorry.
They're doing it in Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
How many years later? 45 years later. Well, joking aside, survival.
Yeah.
But that was an amazing story, and I remember it well, because it could have been Bolton getting
God,
promoted.
You really are an old man.
I know.
I've just written down survive and try and get the squad back together that they had last year. Because they're all out on loan, 4 of the players, which are key. And also for Forest, I would honestly say extend Steve Cooper's contract.
Yes.
It's only a year. He is an amazing manager, man management, great relationship with the players. If he goes, Forest will be in a pickle. So extend that man's contract, whatever the needs. They need to sign some decent players, left wing back, right wing back. Are they going to get Spence back? Who's the replacement for him? If so, then we can start to talk about survival.
Southampton 15th last season. Keep James Ward-Prowse. Whatever you do, bring in some good new players, exciting new players into the team, and avoid relegation. Don't get into a dogfight.
I know they've not really been in a dogfight yet.
Yes.
So survive. And number 2, sign a goal scorer.
Yes.
Armando Broja, second half of the season, wasn't even as good as they really wanted. Didn't score enough. They need to have a striker that they permanently sign that's fired up to play for the Saints.
Yeah, they've signed a goalkeeper, Gavin Bazunu from Manchester City. So some
Don't know
good
much
young
about
players
him.
coming in.
I have no idea if he'll be good or not, but best of luck, Saints.
Tottenham Hotspur were 4th last season, and I'll tell you what, you've got to become the best team in London. You're up against Chelsea, Arsenal, West Ham, Brentford, etc. Why can't you be the head of the pack in London?
The way Tottenham, they're going in an incredible direction with their transfers. Perisic to Basuma.
Yeah.
And now Richarlison. There's not even space for him. I'm thinking about their front 3 last year. Kulusevski was incredible. Kane and Son. Where's Richarlison going to be? He's not going to be a bench warmer. Tottenham have never been in a position where they've actually had an over amount of depth.
Yes, I think they've seen how much was paid for Chelsea by the new owners and thought, oh my goodness, we've got to stay in the top 3 or 4, and they thought, we're going for it.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Tottenham, win a trophy. Any trophy. The banter in London is about you not winning anything ever. No
And
silverware.
finally get that done under Conte. He's not going to be around for long. He's
Yeah.
a short-term manager. This is your season. Win a trophy, and number 2, I'm going to say secure 3rd.
Yes.
That's a big
Yes,
ask, but
yes.
who says they can't do it?
West Ham United 7th last season, so
Yeah.
go out and win the UEFA Conference League.
Get it done, and then try and remain in Europe.
Absolutely, and be ahead of that pack we talked about, the likes of the Wolves and what have you. Be 7th next season.
If they win the Conference League, they get automatic qualification for
Yeah.
the Europa League. They need enough squad depth next season, and that is to GSB and their other owners, whatever. Invest in the squad depth, because Leicester City, look at the state of them. They fell off at the beginning of the Premier League because they had games elsewhere, and I felt like they were playing 2 different teams for 2 different competitions. It was nuts. West Ham needs squad depth now. They did well in the Europa League. Maybe they could have won it if they signed a few players in January to bolster their squad. So let's see what happens. Ambition number 2 for West Ham. Focus more on the youth. I've not heard much from their academy and David Moyes. I know there was Ben Johnson, but apart from that, I want to see more opportunity for the youngsters.
Yeah, that is the criticism of David Moyes, isn't it? That he doesn't believe in the youth.
Look, I know he's done well, and that can cover that statement up.
Yeah.
But why not? Like, give the youth a try, especially in the other competitions.
Wolverhampton Wanderers 10th last season, bang in the middle of the league. Sign some players, for goodness sake.
They need depth.
Because if you don't do that, you're going to go into a relegation fight. I remember Bolton being in the Premier League for the best part of a decade. 4 seasons running, we were top 8, and then it just went wrong. That could happen to Wolves.
And they had a bad bit of momentum
Yes.
at the end of that Premier League year. It was awful. The players just weren't motivated. My ambition for them is purchase a goal scorer. If Raul Jimenez ain't scoring goals, You need to go sign on someone else.
You said Fabio Silva was going to score 20
Look,
goals.
I'm at a point where you've got to put more faith in Fabio Silva. He's not had enough games to prove him or not. In the Portugal under-21s, I watched those games and I think he's decent. Shut it, you Mike.
Sell him.
Wolves fans agree with me. That's what I'm going to say. Number 2, try and finish in the top half again. I don't know if they did.
10th is just top half.
How did they finish 10th?
I have no idea, Theo.
Oh my God. Fair play, Wolves. Let's see if they can do it again. Thank you. We've done our 20. We've mixed up the list because, I don't know, we're cool like that. Road to 1 million subscribers. We can't ask you enough. If that big red button is still red, it means you haven't subscribed. So click it. We're so close to 1 million. That's my life achievement if we get that.
Absolutely. And I'm going to drink this pint of water.
What are you doing drinking water? It should be beer, you mug.
Shocking.
I'm going to go enjoy the pool. I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.
See ya.